Chosen one, stop what you are doing right now. Not in a moment, now. Because what I am about to tell you is not a message I prepared for a crowd. This was prepared for you specifically. For the woman whose eyes stopped on this video today, in this exact hour, in this exact season. You did not find this. This found you. And what is coming toward you, what has already been released and is already in motion, is bigger than anything you have allowed yourself to hope for in a very long time. There is an overflow of abundance on its way to you right now. I did not say it might come. I did not say it could come if you pray hard enough or believe long enough. I am saying it is already moving. It has already been decreed. It is already in motion in the spiritual realm, and it is pressing toward the physical reality of your life with a weight and a momentum that the enemy cannot stop. But here is what I need you to hear before anything else. There is a difference between a blessing that is sent and a blessing that is received. And everything I am about to share with you today is about closing that gap. Because too many chosen women have been standing in the path of their own overflow without even knowing it. And you are not going to be one of them. Before we go any further, drop an amen in the comments right now. Because that simple act is already the first declaration of where you stand. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it now and turn on the bell for notifications. This channel is going to become a place of spiritual anchoring for you in the months ahead. Now let me tell you what I mean when I say the overflow is already on its way. In the economy of heaven, blessing does not originate from the physical realm and work its way up. It originates in the spiritual realm and presses its way down into the visible world, which means that by the time something manifests in your life, in your finances, in your relationships, in your health, in your opportunities, it was first released and decreed from a place that operates entirely outside of time. The overflow you are about to receive was not decided last week. It was not decided when you started praying that specific prayer, or when you started fasting, or when you started doing everything right. It was established before you were born. It was written into the blueprint of your calling. It was sealed with the same breath that placed your destiny inside of you. And that is exactly why what is happening in your life right now, the pressure, the waiting, the silence that has felt like God moved on, is not what it appears to be. God did not forget the overflow. He prepared you for it. Think about what happens when you prepare a container to hold something precious. You clean it, you inspect it, you remove anything that would contaminate what is going to be poured inside. You do not skip that process when what is being poured is irreplaceable. You take the time to make sure the vessel is ready. That is what this season has been for you. Not punishment, not abandonment, not evidence that you missed your window or that the promises spoken over your life were false. This season, the one that has pressed you and stretched you and brought you to your knees more times than you wanted to count, this season has been the preparation of the container. And when what God has decreed is poured into a vessel that is truly ready, it does not trickle in. It overflows. That is not poetic language. That is the literal promise of God over a chosen woman who has been faithful in the fire. But I need to go deeper with you now, because there is something that most teaching does not say clearly enough about what it means to be in the path of an overflow and not receiving it. Pay attention to what I am about to reveal to you now. There is a pattern I have seen in chosen women who are right on the edge of their breakthrough, right at the threshold of receiving what God has been preparing for years, and they block it. Not because God withdrew it, not because they are not worthy, but because the abundance that is coming requires a different version of them than the one they have been walking in. Let me explain what I mean. When God designed your overflow, the specific measure of abundance He assigned to your calling, He designed it for the woman you were always meant to be. Not the version of you shaped by disappointment, not the version of you that learned to stay small because staying small felt safe. not the version of you that stopped expecting because the last time you hoped, it hurt. He designed it for the chosen woman walking in her full identity, standing in her rightful spiritual authority, holding her faith without apology, without shrinking, without the constant internal negotiation that says, maybe I am asking for too much. And here is the hard truth that most people will not tell you. You can be standing directly in the path of your overflow and unconsciously redirect it, not through sin, not through failure, but through unreadiness. Unreadiness looks like receiving a financial door and immediately rehearsing every reason it won't work. Unreadiness looks like getting a relational blessing and immediately waiting for it to be taken back. Unreadiness looks like hearing a word over your life and immediately asking yourself if you deserve it. God is not asking whether you deserve it. He already answered that question when He chose you. He is asking whether you are ready to hold it. And that is exactly why I created something for you. The complete Christian Trilogy bundle. Hear God's voice, stand firm in crisis, and discover your divine purpose, plus the bonuses inside. The link is pinned in the first comment. Women just like you have gone through this bundle and said that within days, they began to hear God with a clarity they had never experienced. They stopped running from the pressure and finally understood what it was for. And they walked into the purpose that had been waiting for them all along. Do not delay this. This content may come down at any time. If you feel the pull right now, comment, "I am chosen," and go get your bundle. This is not a sale. It is an assignment. And God did not bring you here to send you away empty-handed. Now, let me tell you what readiness actually looks like, because I want you to leave this video not just encouraged, but equipped. Readiness is not the absence of fear. Chosen women who are about to receive overflow are not fearless. They are anchored. There is a difference. Fear comes, and it will come, but it is not the final authority in their lives. They feel the fear of what is about to change, of the size of what is coming, of whether they are truly the right person for this assignment, and they move forward anyway, because their faith in the one who sent the overflow is greater than their doubt about their own capacity to hold it. Readiness is not having everything figured out. God rarely sends the blueprint in full before the blessing. He sends the next step, one door clearly illuminated, and readiness is the willingness to step through that door without needing to see the entire staircase first. Most chosen women are waiting for clarity before they move, but in God's economy, you move in obedience and clarity comes in motion. Readiness is the decision to stop living as if the overflow might not come. This is perhaps the hardest part. After seasons of waiting, it becomes deeply habitual to live as a woman who is still waiting, rather than a woman who is receiving. You pray for provision, but budget for lack. You pray for restoration, but emotionally prepare for disappointment. You pray for the overflow, but protect yourself against the hope that it might actually arrive. And I want to say this directly to you right now. God is asking you to adjust your posture. Not your faith, not your prayer life, not your spiritual discipline. He is asking you to adjust the internal posture you carry through your daily life. The posture that says whether you truly believe the overflow is coming or whether you are still living in the rehearsal of everything it has not yet done. Because the woman who positions herself in readiness, who adjusts her expectations, her language, her daily posture to align with what has already been decreed over her, begins to create an internal environment where the overflow can land. And when it does not just touch her finances. It touches every area of her life simultaneously. This is where everything changes. I need you to hold on to what I am about to share with you, because this is the part that most messages about blessing and abundance leave out entirely. And I believe it is the part God most wants you to hear today. The overflow that is on its way to you is not limited to one category. Most of us have been trained, by necessity, by experience, by survival, to think about blessing in isolated channels. Financial breakthrough in one box, healing in another box, restored relationships in another. opened doors of purpose in another. And we pray for each of them separately, we wait for each of them separately, and we measure progress in each of them separately. But God does not release overflow in compartments. When He moves across your entire life. When the dam breaks, it does not release one controlled stream into one carefully designated area. It floods, it saturates. It reaches places you did not even think to pray about. It touches things you stopped believing could change years ago. It restores what you wrote off as lost. It opens what you stopped knocking on. It resurrects what you buried. And this is why the preparation matters so much. Because a woman who is only ready in one area of her life will only receive in that one area. Not because God only sends it there, but because she is only open in that one place. The preparation God has been doing in you, through the silence, through the pressure, through the refining, has been a comprehensive work. Not targeting one room of your life, but walking through every room. Not renovating the surface, but breaking down the foundations that were not built to hold what is coming. Some of you have been through something in the last 18 months that felt like destruction. A relationship that collapsed, a financial structure that crumbled, a plan you built carefully and faithfully that God seemed to dismantle without explanation. And in the middle of it, you prayed and believed and clung to His promises. But inside, there was a part of you that wondered if you had done something wrong, if this was consequence rather than preparation. I am speaking directly to that part of you right now. It was not consequence. It was clearing. God does not remove what He intends to replace. He removes what was occupying the space where what is coming needs to land. He clears the land before He builds. He empties the vessel before He pours. He removes what was comfortable but insufficient to make room for what is abundant and aligned. And what is coming for you, the overflow that is already in motion, needed that space. Before I continue, if this message has been reaching you in places you did not expect, there is a link in the first comment called Buy Me a Coffee. It is simply a way to tell this channel, keep going. Every woman who does that makes it possible for the next chosen woman to find this. That is all I will say about it. Now, let me tell you what happened next. Here is what changes when the overflow arrives. Not just your external circumstances, your internal world. There is something that happens in a chosen woman when she steps out of the season of waiting and into the season of receiving. Something that cannot fully be described from the outside looking in. The woman who has been carrying faith without evidence, who has been standing on promises she could not yet see, when those promises begin to materialize, there is a fundamental shift in who she knows herself to be. She does not just become a woman who has more. She becomes a woman who knows what it means to be carried by God through a season that should have broken her and did not. She carries something in her spiritual posture that money cannot give and circumstance cannot produce. She carries the testimony of a woman who held on. And that testimony, your testimony, becomes the seed of someone else's faith. This is why the overflow coming to you is not only for you. It has always been larger than your individual life. It was always designed to ripple outward, into your family, into your children, into the women around you who are still in their season of silence, and watching you come through theirs as evidence that God is faithful. Your overflow is not just your blessing, it is the proof of someone else's promise. 30 days of intentional pursuit, of His voice, of His presence, of the purpose He placed inside of you, can shift the trajectory of everything that comes after. The complete Christian Trilogy bundle gives you a guided path through all three, not a reading plan, a transformation plan. The link is pinned in the first comment. 30 days from now, you will look back at this moment as the one that changed everything. This is why the complete Christian Trilogy bundle, hear God's voice, stand firm in crisis, discover your divine purpose, plus the bonuses, was created for this exact moment in your life. The link is pinned in the first comment. Get it now while this is still up. Tomorrow may be too late for where you are standing right now. Now I want to speak to something very specific before we reach the end of this message. Because I know that there is a woman watching this who has been believing for the overflow for so long that hope has become painful. The believing itself has become an act of grief rather than an act of faith. Because every time she has risen up in expectation, something has seemed to push it back, and now she is tired. Not tired of God, not tired of faith, tired of hoping and having that hope deferred again. I need you to hear me when I say, deferred hope is not denied hope. Proverbs 13 tells us that hope deferred makes the heart sick, but it does not say hope deferred makes the promise void. The sickness is in the heart, not in the decree. The overflow was not canceled because hope got delayed. It was being prepared, and so were you. The woman who comes through deferred hope and still chooses to believe carries a different quality of faith than the woman whose breakthrough came quickly. Not better, different, deeper. The roots go further down. The foundation is more durable. The testimony is more powerful. The authority in her voice when she speaks to another chosen woman about waiting on God comes from a place of earned knowing that no shortcut could have produced. Your waiting was not wasted. It was weighted. It was building something in you that the overflow required as its foundation. And now, the foundation is ready. The complete Christian trilogy bundle, Hear God's Voice, Stand Firm in Crisis, Discover Your Divine Purpose, plus the bonuses inside, did not come to you by accident. Just as you are not in this video by accident, you are chosen. God has placed on you the responsibility of being the turning point. The place where everything that has held your lineage back finally stops. The link is pinned in the first comment. Click, receive, open, and apply. Within 7 days, you will feel the shift. I am not the one guaranteeing this. The Word does. Comment right now, I accept the assignment, and get your material before this video comes down. Everything that comes after you is watching what you do in this exact moment. Now let me leave you with what this overflow requires from you in the days ahead. Not a longer prayer list, not a more complex spiritual routine, not a performance that earns what has already been given. It requires 3 things. It requires your agreement. Agreement is not the same as belief. Belief is what you hold privately in the silence of your own faith. Agreement is the spoken alignment of your words, your decisions, and your daily actions with the reality of what has been decreed. When you wake up tomorrow, you are going to have a choice in the first moments of consciousness. Before the day's noise comes in, before the weight of what is still unresolved presses down, about what you agree with. Agree with the overflow. Agree with the decree. Let the first words of your day be an alignment statement, not a survival posture. It requires your hands. The overflow is coming, but it will come through doors you open, through steps you take, through the willingness to act in obedience before the full picture is visible. Prepare your hands. Do the thing God is prompting you to do that you have been postponing. Make the call. Write the message. Take the first step toward the thing you have been praying about from a distance. God honors the motion of faith. He does not pour into passivity, and it requires your patience. Not the passive waiting kind, but the active, rooted, anchored kind. The kind that says, I do not know exactly when, and I do not know exactly how, but I know that what was decreed is coming, and I am going to live in alignment with that truth every single day between now and the moment it arrives. That is the posture of the chosen woman who receives her overflow. That is the posture I am calling you into right now. This moment, your eyes on this screen, your heart open to this message, is not incidental. It is not the algorithm rewarding a behavioral pattern. It is God using every instrument available to reach the specific woman whose overflow is already in motion and who needed to hear today. It is coming. You are ready. Prepare to receive. Do not look back at this season with regret for how long it took. Look back at it with awe for what it built in you. Look back at it as the necessary furnace that produced the vessel that the overflow required. Look back at it as the evidence of a God who never abandons the women he has chosen. He just prepares them more thoroughly than they ever expected, because what he has planned for them is more extraordinary than they ever dared to imagine. Your overflow is already on its way. Prepare yourself to receive it. The complete Christian trilogy bundle, Hear God's Voice, Stand Firm in Crisis, Discover Your Divine Purpose, plus the bonuses inside, is pinned in the first comment. This is not about money. It is about obedience to the calling. Comment below, I am chosen and I walk in my purpose, and let that be your public declaration. A comment strengthens, a comment records, a comment moves the spiritual realm. Subscribe to this channel, turn on the bell, and share this video with that woman in your life who you know needs to hear this today. You may be the instrument God uses to reach another chosen woman who is still waiting to be found.